A photograph is supposed to tell a story, but what if mine tells the wrong one? What if every image is just another way to distract from the truth, that I don't really belong behind the camera, that I'll never be any good, and I don't see the world differently? I might press the shutter and capture a moment, but inside, I feel like a fraud, because the more people view my work, the more I fear they'll realise that I have no idea what I'm doing. It's strange. No matter how much I do, how much I accomplish, there's always this quiet voice in the back of my mind asking, was it really you? Maybe it was luck. Maybe it was just the right place at the right time. Maybe people just haven't figured it out yet. So, you push harder, set impossible standards, work twice as much just to keep up with an expectation you're convinced you haven't earned. And when praise does come, it feels misplaced, like they're seeing something in you that isn't really there. You thank them, you smile and nod, but inside, you're already bracing for the moment they realise you're not who they think you are, and maybe, just maybe, you aren't. So what is imposter syndrome, and how do you know if you suffer from it? Well, I'll give you a clue. It's usually once you've finished being outside, taking your photographs, you take them home, you edit them on your computer, and you take a step back and you look at it and you think, that's rubbish, or it's not good enough, or it's not as good as somebody else's. We have this inside fear that we can't compete, that no matter what we do, it will never be good enough. But don't worry, it is possible to get out of that mindset. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips on what to do and what to look out for so that you can spot when it's happening to you if it hasn't already. A truly eye-watering statistic that's really alarming is the fact that up to 70 to 80% of creative people, photographers, musicians, YouTubers suffer from imposter syndrome at some point in their career. So it's not just you. So if that many people suffer from imposter syndrome, why aren't more people talking about it? Well, to help with that, I brought along a few friends today, and I'm going to hand you over to my good friend John Wineberg. He has a fantastic YouTube channel, and I'll leave the details in the comments below. But let me hand you over to John. John, take it away.
David, thank you for making this video. I think imposter syndrome is an important topic, and it affects all artists. As a photographer, I've been dealing with this in wondering if my work was crap. I actually took an 8-month break because I was really thinking long and hard of, should I be sharing my work? Is it worth it? Is it something that other people want to see? I don't look at my photography as the most amazing photography out there in the world, but I have fun doing it. And I believe there are people out there that want to see it and want to check it out. That's okay with me. I'm having fun with it. And that's how I got over it. Not worrying about the likes, the subscribes, the shares, all the things that we tend to worry about as creators. We worry about our people looking at our stuff, our people engaging with it. You know what? It doesn't matter. Putting your stuff out there is the most important thing, as it's your art. But if you don't put it out, you will never know.
Thank you, John. So what are the main signs of imposter syndrome? Now, I've mentioned one before, but it's worth going over again because it's the number one that keeps raising its head, and that is that you compare yourself to everybody else. Instead of being content with the work that you create, the level that you're at, and where you are in your journey, you still think you're not good enough. And that's sometimes because we compare ourselves against people who do different styles of photography, who have done it for 20, 30, 40 years longer than we have done it. And as the saying goes, that's not comparing apples with apples. Another obvious indicator of imposter syndrome is that you feel like you're faking it. No matter your knowledge, no matter your experience, when you're fiddling about with your ISO and your shutter speed and you're setting your composition up, there's a little voice in the back of your head saying, you don't know what you're doing, you're making this up, and fingers crossed that we get a good image. Sound familiar? The next sign is something that I really struggled with, and that's when you do come home from a day out shooting, you've edited a photograph, and you think you've got something for your portfolio. It's an absolute banger. And what you think is, that was luck rather than design. You think to yourself, I set the tripod up, I pointed it in the general direction of something, hit the shutter button, and then just everything aligned in that moment to give you a good photograph. And again, you think it was luck. But although you have a deeply rooted belief that that's the case, you know you took time, you picked the location to go to, you picked the time of day to go to, you picked the lens that you were going to shoot with, And then when you came home, you had an idea of how you wanted it to look before you started editing it. And that's all part of the process. And rather than me tell you, I'm going to hand you over to another friend, and this is Simon. Simon has a great Instagram account, and I'll put details again down below. So over to you, Simon.
Thank you, David. So this topic is pretty important to me since I struggle with it like all the time. And what is helping me is I try to think about how did I get the shot. I really take my time with composition. I think about what aperture, what settings I could use, really going into detail there and taking my time. And when I come home, I'm editing the photo, and it's not like I take a JPEG and have the photo done, right? So think about the time and effort you put in your photos. Like on location, while trying to find the correct composition, after when you're editing the photo, or even before when you've learned all that photography skills and trained your photography eye to be able to see where there might be a good shot. And always remember that you don't always come home with a portfolio shot, that's just how it is. Anyway, I hope this helped, and I think David has even more to tell you.
So what happens when you ask somebody for a bit of advice on how you should deal with this? You might hear this: fake it till you make it. Now for me, that's a terrible piece of advice, because when you adopt the fake it till you make it mentality, you've just reinforced in your brain that word fake. And that's what we're trying to get away from. What you have to do is start to believe that you do have skill, you do have potential, and no matter where you are or how good you are at this moment in time, you're going to get better. By doing things over and over again, that's invariably going to happen. Another great saying that I like is repetition is the mother of skill. The more you do, the better you get. And sometimes that can take a short period of time, sometimes it can take a long period of time. But guarantee you, by putting one foot in front of the other, you're on a journey to improve. So just to recap, imposter syndrome is the enemy of good, and it's the enemy of progress. You need to start telling yourself that you are worthy of having your camera, you're worthy of making a YouTube video, whatever it is you choose to do. So be proud that you've started. And if anybody does give you negative criticism, they're probably sat at home, invariably in their underwear, hammering away on a keyboard just to try and make you feel bad. But don't let it. You're in outdoors, you've got a camera, and you're about to make some art. And never ever forget, you are awesome. The crazy thing about imposter syndrome is that it's all in your head. You don't have to believe that you're not good enough. Photography is one of the very best things that you can do with your spare time. And you never know, the next time you lace up your boots, you might be just minutes away from taking the best photograph that you've ever taken. And the only way you'll find out is by overcoming your demons and getting ready for the front door.